And here we are playing Horizon Zero Dawn. We've got the whole gang here. Mr. Zach Miner, one Justin Massenkill, and Ryan Clements.
Hi, Sid.
I'm going to take a guess that this is my footage. This looks like me playing Horizon Zero Dawn here.
This is indeed, and we are not actively playing this, we should say. We got a chance, you and I both did, Sid, to play quite a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn at a recent preview event. So we thought we would take a extended look at some different clips that both of us captured.
Now Ryan and I are just going to judge all of this footage because neither of us played.
That's right. Now this is also me. You can notice it's me sometimes because I kind of do the beauty shots. I kind of spin the camera around. I try to, just make the game look its best, which is actually quite easy because it is a gorgeous-looking game.
It really is. So here, this is kind of early in the game, so there's not going to be a ton of spoilers. But I believe, Sid, you were just kind of running around and stumbled across this guy who was kind of yelling at you to come over and offering up a little side quest here.
It's true. Yeah, I heard somebody shouting for help, and being the good Samaritan that I am and the quality citizen that I am, I wandered over.
What a nice man you are.
And I want to point out, Horizon Zero Dawn, I mean, this is from Guerrilla Games, the guys that brought us Killzone over the years, and this is something different. It's an open-world RPG, strong action emphasis. But one of the things that was so interesting playing it is, as you can see, these dialogue choices.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a proper RPG. It's
Right.
a proper open-world game with quests and items and crafting. We're going to be taking a closer look at all that here. But, so in this quest... Well, that quest is done now.
No, this is it.
Okay.
In the interest of time, we've
jumped
ahead.
That's totally fair. So I was. He asked me to find his daughter who was trapped. So a fearsome fight.
Is that his daughter?
That's not his daughter.
Something has gone horribly wrong with his daughter.
So these are Watchers, and they just kind of did like a sort of a glare attack there that kind of.
Oh, so the Watchers did that.
The Watchers did that. Now I wanted to show off kind of an array of different attacks here. The melee in this game is actually fun. It's not something they've shown a ton of. It's not going to be mistaken for God of War, but it's very crunchy, very satisfying feel, as you can see there. I just kind of wallop those guys.
That's the first time I've seen Alloy just like go for it with melee style combat. That's
She
great.
is
Or
a
Aloy.
Badass.
Aloy.
Yeah.
Aloy.
Thank you.
Also, what was surprising to me, so you can see that you can kind of craft items here kind of mid-battle.
Real-time crafting.
Yeah, exactly. So if you need some new arrows or something like
Bam!
that.
Look at that. Oh,
Headshot.
that feels so
Is
good.
that a critical
Right through the lens.
spot? If you hit him in
Yes.
their glowing eyeball, is that a crit?
I
yeah.
want to point out that every time that I drilled an arrow right down the eyeball of a Watcher, a chill went right up my spine. The game feels so good. It's got a really tight feel. The mechanics are really robust. This blast bomb thing, we'll get some footage with that, I think, a little later. This is the rope caster.
Oh, okay.
And this is the one you can use this to immobilize enemies. I was trying to...
You're like,
He's thrashing around there.
Oh, here's the bomb. There we go.
Ba-boom. Do it again.
Oh, careful.
oh,
You're a little
careful,
close.
Sid. Careful.
Hey, look, this thing's ornery. Look at that.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Get 'em.
There we go. Well done.
And there's different types of bombs that you can arm into that thing. Oh, here we go. Here's the object of our quest.
Was she just like hanging out watching you kill those?
She was
things?
up in the tree.
Oh, okay.
So that yellow rope there on the tree, we're still figuring out the controls here. The yellow rope on the tree means that you can like climb it and you can scale up that. The yellow is kind of an indicator that that's a climbable object.
Cool.
Here's another one I want to point out real quick. Something I was really praising the guys at Guerrilla, Herman and all the guys who were there. Look at the facial animations.
Yeah, it is
Some
gorgeous.
of the best facial animation tech I've ever seen. And I actually didn't realize they put so much work into it.
Yeah, it's astounding. I talked to the gang at Guerrilla a little bit, kind of just about the visual fidelity. And one of the things I didn't think about when I was considering this, because I look at Horizon and I'm just like, oh, it's Guerrilla. Like, of course this is going to be an incredibly looking game.
Yeah.
Is that this is on a scale that's kind of unlike anything they've done before, right?
Oh, absolutely.
To produce the incredible kind of visual quality of Killzone, you're making kind of a relatively linear shooter. Here, you're completely open. So
What is this?
now we're jumping over to my footage for somewhat of a different tactic to approach combat scenarios. So we're using Aloy's focus here. And so that allows you to scan and tag enemies. You can see that there's a little kind of a little on-screen indicator over where that enemy is. And there's some yellow highlights there. So the yellow highlights are vulnerabilities. And let's see, do I go back up there?
This is already so different.
So you can see the
from the way
blaze
Sid
canister
just-
is a weakness, right? Perhaps this is like the personality test of Sid and I. So what do you think happens if I shoot the blaze canisters with my fire arrows?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Kaboom!
Bam.
That is satisfying.
So
Did
you keep getting these little point values. Are those like experience points or something like
Damage
that?
points.
Damage.
So those was damage popping off them, but on the side of the screen, yes, those are experience points that you
Well,
get.
because like I saw a thing popped up that said like canister explosion kill or something like that, and it said plus 50. So
Oh, you do get more experience. You're right.
Yes.
There's like little
Oh, okay,
events.
okay.
So if you kill by fire, if you kill by defeat, I guess I should say it is a teen-rated game. You're not, and they are robots. They're not really alive, I guess, in the traditional sense.
Right.
But they machines. They you sort of like if you use unusual methods to take them out, you kind of get rewarded
Cool.
for that.
And you'll see that here too. So you'll see that this enemy is kind of alerted, and I've used my lure ability, kind of like a whistle to hide in the grass.
what's over there?
And
What was that noise?
come to me.
Kablamo,
There you go. So see
kaboom.
plus 25 stealth kill.
Get 'em.
For hiding in the grass. So there's a stealth meter. You see that little eyeball at the top of the screen. So that kind of tells you the amount of noise you're making, kind of how visible you are. And Sid, I don't know if you know this, there is a crouch button in this game.
I did hear that. I did use it, but
That focus effect looks so cool. By
It's
the way.
really fun, especially when you're kind of like stumbling across new enemies, or if you're trying to track a herd. Because as you saw, like I just had too much fun blowing these
Oh,
guys
yeah,
up.
Here
so
we go.
What's going on, buddy?
look at that.
Oh, double
No, and
kill.
it started the other one on fire.
Oh, are they gonna
too.
go up too?
Oh,
There you go. So
So
the-
no, we're getting away. Oh no, not
Well,
fast enough.
did I get it?
No, those are like herbivorous type machines.
Yeah, that's the technical term.
They're not necessarily. They're not like the most fearsome machines. They're kind of more akin to a deer.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
now there we go.
Hello.
You got to keep your head on a swivel in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Let's
So
look at the loot here, by the way. Those metal shards are a form of currency. Use them also to craft arrows. The arrows, the bow and arrow mechanics in this game, second to none. But there's a lot of loot and a lot of crafting and a lot of things you can buy and sell. I really liked all that.
absolutely, kind of going into there you go, trophy earned.
Nice job.
Thanks, Sid. Kind of going along with the conversation.
Oh, this is me.
Options.
This has to be me, right?
I think this is me actually.
Oh, okay.
I think we're staying with me. Going with along with the conversation options are a ton of kind of the RPG staples
yeah.
that you would imagine. Tons of loot, tons of components. Gathering here, you're kind of picking up materials that you can craft arrows with, or little health pouches.
Are these the items that we see on the D-pad on the bottom left there?
Some of them,
See like a health potion, it looks like.
yeah, so you can craft those.
Interesting health mechanic worth pointing out. You have this medicine pouch. You gather these sort of life-giving herbs and spices, all that kind of thing, and they go into that green meter that's on the upper left-hand corner of your HUD. Under the red one, the red's your actual life meter, the green meter is your medicine pouch. So as you sort of find these famous herbs and spices and drop them in there, you can use that you press up on the D-pad to actually heal during a match.
So it looks like Aloy just hacked this machine and is now riding it around. Is that what? Am I correct?
That is correct.
You are correct, and then you can see that you can then summon them kind of once you. Oops.
It's a bucking bronco.
Yeah, and there are attacks that you can do while you're on there, both forwards and backwards.
But this guy's going berserk right now.
Yeah, it's a little wild. I'm sorry, buddy.
Are there a lot of different types of machines that
Oh, yeah.
you can mount and ride
Oh,
around?
in terms of, I only know of this one, the Grazer, or Strider, actually. I think it's called Strider.
Yeah, but there are others.
There are
So
tons of machines.
let's take a look into some of the menus here. So obviously you have a bunch of different weapons types, and then they have modification slots. You can get different weapons.
That's a good looking UI too.
Oh, yeah, it's slick.
Yep.
I want this game.
Now, I do want to point out this game.
Oh, photo mode. I saw photo
Yeah,
mode.
there's
There is a photo mode. There's also custom UI. I
like that a lot.
options.
I recommend the dynamic option.
Yeah.
I did want to point out, we are playing this on the standard PS4. It is a mighty fine-looking game, but this game is a centerpiece for PS4 Pro, and we did get a quick peek at the latest near-final version of the game running on a luxurious 75-inch Sony 4K TV,
my
and
goodness.
it's wild what that game looks like in 4K.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, obviously 1080 standard PS4 standard footage is also just mind-blowing, right? I
It
mean,
looks great.
I really don't know what kind of magic they're playing with over there in Amsterdam.
Guerrilla, known for their technical prowess, known for lots of things, but there's no question that is a particular unique strength of theirs, and they're showing it all off here. Also noticed, reasonably snappy load times, just a good a great overall experience from the technical perspective.
Well, and I would actually say no load times. Now, there, if you're fast traveling,
Yeah.
there will be a load. If you die, then there is a load. But
But it's seamless between areas.
seamless running across the world,
That's correct.
going in and out of dungeons or
Mhm.
ruins, no load times.
I should have clarified that. It was when I fast traveled, but it wasn't that bad.
I want to call this out too. Sometimes the fear with an open world game is that you're going to get like big areas that are completely flat and kind of
Yeah.
just like open. Whereas here it looks like you got a very rich tapestry of different elevations, different cover types, different like traversal methods. I mean, it seems like it's a very robusto.
Very colorful too. There's a whole lot going on. Very dense foliage.
Yeah.
and all that.
Density, I think, is kind of one of the key things for me. The game. This is not a game where you're just sort of, running across open plains for hours on end. I mean, there's a lot going on, and here we get a look at the skill tree as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess there's
Yes.
kind of 3 main groups that they've organized them in, but you can invest in whichever ones you want. I tended to go for more of the prowler abilities that would let you just kind of like hide in the grass and then take people down or take machines down with one shot.
I can guess
I'm
which
guessing
tree
which
Sid went down. Yeah.
Sid very brave.
I went all in on forager.
Oh,
I
really?
wanted all those
Yeah,
herbs and
I'm sure.
spices in my
No,
little
that-
pouch.
yeah.
The non-lethal playthrough.
That's
I'm
right,
just
yeah.
going to cook and make potions.
No, I mean, I really love the brave skill tree. You see these double shot, triple shot. You can make it so you fire like multiple arrows per shot, and that just I never quite got there. Oh, here, this is good too. This is a merchant. Let's touch on this a little bit. Or no, this is just my equipment that I've got. This is my.
No, this is your merchant. You're buying and selling various goods here.
Yeah. So different armor with different sort of emphasis. I just didn't
cool.
expect any of this in this
No.
game, to be
And
totally
it all
honest
looks
with you.
completely different.
Yeah. No, it's
Wow,
great.
So it's not just like you're not just buying stat
Right.
upgrades. You're buying like completely new sets of armor that change the way Aloy looks too.
And plays. Some of
Yeah.
these are highly stealth centric. Others are all about sort of damage output, things like that. You can slot upgrade items into them to kind of further boost them. Here we're looking at some of the crafting components. These are just sort of items you use to create things. Like you'll want those metal vessels if you want to create more of the bombs for the slingshot. You got a bunch of different types of ammo, shock arrows, all kinds of good stuff.
And of course, you can craft kind of larger packs and larger quivers to carry
Oh,
more of
man.
particular types of items. I definitely hit a point when I was playing yesterday where I'm just like, now if I just explore this area a little bit, then I can start to build out my character in this way.
And then it was like, Zach, we only have a half an hour
Yeah,
until
we
we
have,
have to leave.
we have to catch a flight right now.
I feel a little bit of Far Cry 3 in here.
Little
between,
bit,
like,
little
the
bit, yeah,
crafting and stuff. And that game I just became hopelessly addicted to.
You're spot on. Like you can upgrade your sort of your weapon bandolier, if you will, sort of the pouch that you hold your arrows in by hunting for animals and getting their fatty meat or their rich meat or their bony meat, different types of meat, and you use them to do different things
Look
with.
at that water.
The dynamic weather system
Oh,
in
yeah.
this game is really astounding. So I think we're going to take a couple different kind of looks at some of the weather you encounter here. But it really, obviously we have a couple different types of rain, but depending on what part of the world you're in, it really can take on a really different feel. Here, this is just wind, and you kind
Whoa.
of see how Aloy is reacting to it.
God.
Doesn't that look awesome?
It's unbelievable.
It's a really, really gorgeous game.
I want this game.
What purpose do the campfires serve?
Oh my gosh! Wait, hold on. Don't talk about
This is-
campfires
so,
yet.
yeah,
Let's all enjoy the giant row machine.
the campfires just briefly are a way to save, quick save, load. You can. They're also waypoints you can sort of fast travel to.
Cool.
Now this is a long neck, and this I did not.
Tall neck, I believe, right?
Tall neck. Sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking Land Before Time.
As usual.
I just crossed wires there. But okay, so the tall neck, this thing, I didn't know what it would do. All I knew was that it looked really cool, and then I learned that by clambering on top of this monstrosity, it's totally harmless.
Don't
But
call it a monstrosity.
It's
That's
beautiful.
rude.
I meant it from the
Beautiful.
size perspective. This
And maybe
elegant monstrosity.
colossal, maybe.
This colossus. By
Yeah.
getting on top of this colossus, you can sort of take it over. You can hack it, kind of the way you did for that other creature, and it basically opens up some of the fog of war, if you may, that covers the map. So it's
cool.
sort of like a recon item in a way, but it's a bit of a challenge to get on top of this thing. You can see me scurrying all about here, trying to get on top of a building just as it passes by. But such a cool looking creature. And so distinctive, I think, to the game.
Mhm.
Just again, this
It has a really iconic look.
It
and one
does.
that already is echoed in a lot of the trailers and screenshots that we've seen for Horizon so far.
Oh,
You
here
were like,
we go.
could this be
Oh.
it? Could this be your?
What if it just like turns around?
Turns around and vomits fire on me. No, these things are totally harmless from what I've seen. They're not to be killed. They're meant to be
They're herbivores.
meant to be pacified.
Now to climb up to its
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what these.
that-
I don't know what they eat. These machines. I haven't seen that so far.
Or
Let's
like
give
motor oil.
another let's give another shout out to the character animators on this
Oh,
game.
yeah. Big
Aloy's
time.
Aloy's jumping animations and hanging animations
Yeah.
are ridiculous.
Look, she's making even me look like I know what I'm doing right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
I look elegant and composed. When
I
was
love how
anything
she
but-
even like she's kind of
Yeah, trying to center
swerving
her
around,
balance.
trying
Yeah,
to stay.
yeah, this is unreal.
Isn't this
Unreal.
crazy, though?
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
clearly, I feel like objectively one of the best looking PS4 games out there.
Oh,
clearly.
there's no question.
And wait till you see it on Pro. I'm telling you, it'll melt your face.
Give me a moment.
Generally said, I do take some issue with your use of objective. Not here. Not here, sir.
Wow. Oh, and there you
Look
go.
at that.
There you go.
Get a little close encounters of the third kind going on here. Look at that.
Twisting along its
Rappel
path.
down. Rappel
It
down.
sense when it sees to
And get ready for an awesome animation.
Oh
Oh my gosh, you kidding me with this?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Now, did you? Okay, good. I was about to say, did you kill it? Oh, good.
No,
it's
he's
still
safe
walking.
and
No,
safe and
yeah.
secure.
All right, good.
He's a
Poor
buddy
Ryan.
now.
Just playing for the good guys now.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So now on the map you'll see kind of there's different kind of herds that have been revealed and different kind of other spots of interest in this region.
Yes, yes, yes.
And speaking of the open world, worth noting that kind of once you finish the first few quests, it's not really a gated open world, and so
Mhm.
you can really stumble into some let's call them pickles situations. Here's one where I got a little too big for my britches. Use my focus there to scan and tag this enemy, and you can see you can also track their kind of patrol routes. So these are corrupted enemies. and
Oh, yeah,
these are
tough.
these are even more fierce than the regular enemies. So I thought I could maybe try and pick them off one by one. Let's see how that works out for me. Let's see
I
if we-
cannot wait to see. I'm going to say that it works out perfectly.
No,
for
no,
you.
no, these corrupted enemies, they factor into the storyline. Oh, nice use of the tripwire there.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. Now I
The
can
stun. Oh,
finish
yeah,
him
see-
off.
Yeah, you have a very different play style than I do. I would have been flailing at him and going on
Worked
his
well.
You're getting into a very,
Here's the flailing.
You're getting into a tight situation here.
This isn't
Oh,
good.
oh,
No, Aloy, no.
So those corrupted machines, as
She's
part of the
sleeping.
it's part of
So here's your take on the corrupted machines, by the way.
Okay, yeah, this was a fearsome one too. The corrupted machines factor into the storyline, and there's basically some sort of mysterious corruption, for lack of a better term, that is making these machines that sort of live in a certain degree of harmony with the surviving humans, making them act unusual. And so actually it was very interesting, again, sort of the world that Guerrilla's built here, going back to town when these corrupted creatures are running about some of these zones. The tribal members were very upset. They were very upset by the fact that these machines seem to be taken over by some sort of hostile force. So we don't really know much about what's causing it, but clearly a significant element of the storyline. Curious to see where it goes.
Right, and so these enemies kind of, I think as you mentioned, Sid, these ones are usually not hostile.
Right.
But because they have this corruption, obviously they want to take you out.
And some of them act differently. The Watchers, you can see I just healed out of my medicine bag there. The Watcher, yeah, this was maybe not the most wise thing to do. Oh my god. The Watchers, some of them act quite differently too, like, or have different attacks. So it's kind of like a different enemy in some ways.
Sid, I like how at the beginning of this fight you had a clear plan for that first enemy
And
with
then
the
I just-
tripwire, and then the two others walk around the rock, and you're like, I don't know, I only thought about the first
so
one.
is this a situation where you would say, okay, well these guys are too strong for me. Let me go level up some more, unlock some more skills, or do you
Exactly.
Is there a traditional level up system, or is it purely unlocking skills? And
There is,
skills for you?
absolutely leveling. Oh yeah,
yeah?
100%, 100%, and that is a factor. I did go back to that area and take him out right after what you saw there, but I do want to point this out.
Yeah, take us
Sure you
home
did.
here, Sid.
This is the Sawtooth, and it actually looks like a smaller one. There's a much bigger one I fought earlier that took everything I had to take down. These guys are and okay. This is a bandit. This is a totally emergent battle that's happening between a group of bandits. You can kind of vaguely see them through all the fire and debris here. They got into a fight with the Sawtooth, and I kind of stumbled upon it. So
and
these
the
are
footage is almost up.
That's right. These fire arrows definitely took him out, but it was not easy.
just say the game looks great and you can't wait, I believe.
Look at that. That's right. Looks incredible. Horizon Zero Dawn coming out February
28?
That's right. February 28th. Exclusive to PS4, of course.
Absolutely. Sid, any final thoughts?
I did want to point out, I've mentioned, if you listen to PlayStation Blogcast, I'm not always the biggest fan, or it's not the easiest sell for me, an open world game. It's big time commitment. Sometimes it's just this game actually is like right up my alley, though, and I think so much of it has to do with the universe is obviously awesome, but it's actually the combat mechanics. They're so crunchy. It's so satisfying. It isn't sort of like fluffy or floaty feeling. It's meaty. It's like substantial. If this was a just standard sort of third-person action game, I would totally play this game. But the fact that it's also got all this this giant universe around it, so this one really grabbed me more than even I expected.
Yeah, and it's amazing that obviously it comes from a studio whose heritage is in a completely different genre, and yet all those mechanics that we just showed off felt so natural and so rewarding.
100%. Yeah,
I wanted to mention that this game feels super inspired. It's really cool to see what Guerrilla can do when they can break out and try something new.
Absolutely, and I would just say, somebody who's worked here for a while and seen all the games we've put out, I think this is one of the more ambitious games I've seen PlayStation sort of work on with its internal worldwide studios. So kudos to Guerrilla Games, kudos to you, Zach, for very responsible and smart play style. And
It's its own reward.
That's right. Thanks to everybody for listening. Horizon Zero Dawn out February 28th on PS4.